Good morning and welcome to another episode of Drew's Book Reviews. Today we're talking about The 100 by Cass Morgan. So, if anybody's been watching the TV show or following it, the basic concept behind this particular book is this idea that mankind's been living on a space station for centuries now, after a post apocalyptic era in which the world is suffering from a nuclear winter and radiation levels are just too high to be safe for human habitation. And they're running out of time. And so they decide that they're going to deal with their criminals, their youth, really, that they don't want to just execute as they do typically the adult criminals in this futuristic dystopian era novel. And they don't want to just simply execute them, but they're running out of time and resources on the space station, so they have to act and do something to save humanity. So they send 100 youth criminals down to the earth to see if it's livable and survivable at this point. Is the basic concept behind this entire book, this entire series. If you're watching the 100 TV show, you would definitely already kind of know the basic idea behind this book and this book series. One thing that I kind of find I'm enjoying about this is that it's definitely I would say it is definitely in the young adult category of books as far as that your dystopian young adult future type book scenario, but it definitely sets itself apart. Like it's not a typical type of dystopian futuristic world. I would say not like the Hunger Games or the Divergent series, but really kind of I guess Lord of the Flies is in a sense that you've got these kids, these young people who are put in a precarious situation in which they have to rebuild society from, and it's just rather than having them war or fight against each other with different factions, they have to find a way to work together. And of course, they're all criminals. They've all done terrible things. They've all got a past that they're not happy with. And so, what they have in common is that they are all people who have committed crimes, people who have done wrong. And this is really their second chance. But the trick is finding a way to work together for their survival, to that they could live and recolonize Earth once again. So that's really just awesome concept, I think, overall. And I'd have to say it was written well. I really enjoyed it. Now, there are some differences, of course, between the book series and the TV show, as you could always expect. It's never going to be the same from film to book to book to film. It just doesn't work that way. Uh, at least not in Hollywood. I mean, they never adapt it perfectly, which is fine. Now, I did start watching the actual TV show before I started reading the books. In fact, I bought the books because I'd watched the TV show and I thought it's a really cool idea, and maybe I should read the books. So there are some things that are certainly different. Like at least at this point in the first book, there's no mention of the characters of Murphy or Jasper that we find in the TV series itself. They don't seem to be anywhere in existence. As well as in the TV show, it's suggested that it's been about 97 years, so almost 100 years since the human species launched itself into space in an effort to survive while awaiting the nuclear winter to be over. But in the book series, these are events that are taking place 300 years after the nuclear war and the nuclear winter started. So definitely the timeline is very, very different. It's significantly less time in the TV show versus the book. And also, I think the book timeline certainly makes a lot more sense versus simply 97 years, 300 years makes a lot more sense. Some of the other differences being that our main character of Clark, her mother is still alive in the TV show and plays a vital role or a key role as far as characters go in the TV show, but her mother is not alive in the book. Both of her parents are dead in the book series. We also have this character of Glass. She escapes the launch to Earth and stays behind on the space station Arcadia, where we kind of get an insight into what's going on the space station. So unlike in the TV show, we get the insight of what's going on in the space station through the eyes of a character who was supposed to be sent to Earth but actually wasn't. So that's kind of one of the key differences as well. I kind of like how that played out. I mean, that character there of Glass to kind of see what's going on up at the space station, I think is really kind of a better way, honestly, through the eyes of a convicted criminal, essentially, as to see what's going on up there. I think that's kind of a better way to do it, a more enjoyable way to do it. I think it just works overall better. And of course, we have Octavia uh, and Bellamy, brother and sister, unheard of in this world. They're not something that is normal. It's so far outside the normal. And kind of get into her history, Octavia's history, Bellamy's history, the kind of things that happen. Now, throughout the book, we have the different characters kind of have their flashback scenes as well to kind of get an idea of what led to them being a convicted criminal, what led to them being in confinement and eventually sent to Earth. So, just seeing that kind of playback in their minds, the flashbacks, really awesome. I really enjoyed that. I like seeing their history and where they got. And of course, throughout the book, it's kind of dropping hints as to what each character might have done, and we don't really know from the beginning what they've been found guilty of or what they have done. There are hints dropped. Some are like, oh well, this is the crime, but we don't really know what they're referring to because it's vague enough that we don't actually know what the action was, just what the conviction was. It's kind of nice to kind of play up on that in a lot of ways, which is fun and entertaining, and just generally it's been an enjoyable read. Definitely I am enjoying the characters within the book series. Clark, of course, being one of the main characters, and Wells being the son of one of the leaders of Chancellor Jaha. So, nobody trusts him, nobody likes him, but he's down there as well. And he's also one of these convicted criminals. But nobody wants anything to do with him because it was Counselor or Chancellor Jaha that was, at least in part, responsible for the predicament that they were in now. And so he's kind of the outcast, the one that nobody likes or trusts from this group of 100. So he's trying to find his place amongst this group of people that basically want nothing to do with him. So the dynamics and interplay between the characters building up really awesome. Now, one of the things that is not in the first book is the Grounders. They don't really make much of an appearance, but we'll see how that plays out down the road. So overall, definitely say I'm enjoying it. Really good read. Definitely recommend it if you like those dystopian novels. And of course, don't forget to stay tuned because next time we'll be reading the 100 Day 21. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next review, and we will see you next time on Drew's Book Reviews. Links to all my social media profiles will be in the description below. You have yourself a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye!